Hey guys, and how's it going? Welcome back to another Trains with Shane video. And this is going to be kind of a double feature of a Will It Run video. I'm gonna try to get back in the habit of doing one video per week at least, guys. Although I've got some other stuff coming. The new channel launch, the Hobbies channel, which will be diving into more of the painting and things like that. Bought a bunch of supplies for that, so I'm waiting on one more thing that unfortunately is coming from Europe, so it's going to take it a while to get here, so it may be a couple of weeks before that's going. In the meantime, I've spent some money. Not a lot, but a little. Finding deals wherever I can. So, I picked these up off of Facebook Marketplace. A nice fellow up in New England, we'll say. I can't remember if he was in Pennsylvania or New York, but it seems like everything I've bought over the last week or so has been from somebody either in Pennsylvania or New York, which is weird. A lot of rail fans up there, I guess, so that's good. So what do we have? We have two Intermountain EMD SD series, and these are Norfolk Southern SD40-2's. These are just the DC versions, I believe. I do not think they have DCC in them or Loke sound. If they did, I really stole them. But 2 units, virtually the same, just different road numbers. I didn't study to see if there were any prototypical differences between 3381 and 3394. There may be. If there are, we'll check them out here. But these are used. These aren't new, despite them being in their original boxes with what looks like the nice foam. So I'm hoping that these things will just work. So let's go in order here and get number 3381 out. I like that these tops pop open pretty easy. Some of the Atlas ones that use this type of snap-on top, you end up busting them here and here or cracking them or something like that. Anyway, talking too much. Got our upper clamshell. Protective piece of cellophane. Looks like it protects both sides. Let's get a good zoom in here. A little bit dusty. Good looking unit. Looks like that was either re-glued on or something. See some funkiness above that number board right there. That was almost a crisis, guys. I managed to catch this thing in my hand before hitting the floor. So where were we? Okay, looks like we've got a 3-chime horn here. I don't know if that's a PTC or a radio antenna, separately applied. Dirty. Or is that where? Yeah, that's just stuff that's in there. We may need to touch that up with some paint. Can't tell if the fan grills are separately applied or if they're molded in. It almost looks like they're separately applied. If they are molded in, then the depth is really nice. See, look at that. Just a thing of dirt just landed right here. I don't know where all this dirt and crap is coming from, guys. I don't smoke. It's just probably just dusty in the air because we've been in drought conditions. Anyway, let's get our pick in here. There's our Norfolk Southern Some warning labels that are way too hard to read, even under magnification. It's kind of unsightly. What is that? What's that? Lubrication? That's exactly what that is, guys. Looks like Labelle's 106 and a bunch of it. Can I get that? Can I get it? I may have to try a little bit later to get that out of there. I'll get my tweezers in there. So we've got our bell underneath here. Brake cylinders. I don't see a speed recorder. No separately applied brake hoses, which I wouldn't expect in N scale unless you're getting a rivet counter. Got our filler cap, our black fuel level indicator. We got treads on our walkway, our emergency stop button right here, air tank, similar things molded in here. Looks like separately applied wire grabs on the side here. Very glad to see that. That's cool. Our rear pilot here, separate MU hoses. Coupler is a little large, but it's fine. It's got some drop pin detail on top of it. A little red fiber from somewhere. No fold down rails or anything, or walkways or platforms. No air hoses. No separately applied hoses. The coupler cut lever, it's hard to tell because it's black on black. Looks like parts of it might be separately applied, like the very ends, but the center of it's molded in. Got our chains, our stanchions here, and our, let's see, this part here is come loose, easy enough to fix. Fairly rigid. Let's turn her around. So that's where our grabs were. Were there any on front? Yes, there are. Grab iron there. There on the top of the short head. Gently flip her around. Again, we've got more warning labels, the same. Here's the window to check, I think that's to check the water level of the prime mover without having to open the door. Similar details on this side. I'm not going to bother removing that piece of foam. Our wipers look like separately applied pieces. We may be missing a shade. Is there a shade only on the front and not on the back? You Norfolk Southern fans tell me. Visors are not present, but let's see if they are in the box. Is that maybe them up here? There's a little piece of something jammed in here. Here we are. There are a couple parts in here. Let's see if I can figure it out without ham-fisting these into oblivion. It's definitely some shades. Some other small bits over here. It's another shade. That might be our fold-down walkway platform right there. Anyway, we're not going to mess with that. back down in there. Get back in frame here. This thing has such good details, it's hard to find a way to grab it by the tank only as I spin it around. I'm gonna stick our piece of foam back in here. So it definitely looks good. Let's set this unit aside. I'm not going to do a detailed overview of the other unit. We're just going to pull it out, give it a once over. Here we are. Get this thing out carefully. All right. More of the same. Same horn, same PTC antenna. Front. I call it a window blind. It may be a mirror. Maybe a rearview mirror. Place for our, what am I trying to do? Spit out the words. Place for our shades to plug in. Front pilot looks good. Are these lights, guys? They look like they might be ditch lights. I am used to seeing SD40-2's with ditch lights on top of the pilot here and here. Are these MU hose receptacles? Looks like an almost exact duplicate of the other model, just with a different road number, which is perfectly fine. I'm not a stickler to the point of that really mattering for me. What we do have is an enclosure for a speaker, so that's good. If we want to add DCC and sound to these guys, it won't be an issue. So, put the clamshell back in here. Our top back on. I don't know if you guys are waiting for it or not, but we are going to get these guys over to the switching layout track, and as we do, we're going to find out what they do and what they don't do. I will see you over there. Alright, we've got our first Norfolk Southern unit on the switching layout here. Going to give it track power, pick a forward direction, and give her the juice. Oh, there she goes. We are feeding her a bunch of power. She's buzzing slightly. Go back. Not wanting to go. Oh, there she goes. She's humming when I touch it, so we'll stop that test right there. Actually, let's see. Do we have any headlights? We did. We had number boards and what I thought were ditch lights. Something of note. I am all the way down on our voltage here, but our headlights are on. You guys see that? As well as our number boards. We are all the way down on power. So, I'm not going to run the other one. Let's take this apart and see if we don't have a dual mode decoder in here. Let's see if I can figure out how to take it apart without breaking it. Do I need to take the coupler boxes out? I'm going to try it without doing so. Looky here, guys. Looks like we have DCC enabled, at least for control. Obviously not sound equipped because I don't see any wires running down to where the speaker would be. Wouldn't that be sweet if it was sound equipped? There would probably be a lot more surface mount components on here if that were the case. So let's put the shell back on here. And this did just slip off like Kato and Atlas units do. It's hard to figure out where to... I'm gonna have to do this off camera, guys. I gotta get it up in my teeth so I can see it. Well, that partially answers that question, guys. Let's put this one aside, grab our other one. $33.94. It does also have the grates in the bottom, like it has provisions to mount a speaker. I'm going to pull the shell off of that one as well. Looks like this is DC only. Interesting. So definitely a moment of discovery, guys. Looks like we got one machine that was DCC and one that's DC only. Let me put this unit back together. If you don't have one of these guys and you work at N scale, this Kato re-railer, there's the part number 24,000. Just get one. I am not the youngest guy in the world and my eyes are not as sharp as they used to be, but being able to just feed one of these things right onto the rails, it's paradigm altering. Okay, so we've got the other unit on here. Let's give it some track power, pick a direction, dial her up. You see, that's what we were expecting from the other one. Nice and quiet. Let's change direction, dial her back up. Let's see, we have rear lit number boards. We lost power here. Maybe a dirty spot in my track. Pickup seems pretty consistent, so I don't think we have a pickup issue here. Let's go back. Let's dial her all the way up. Slow her down, change direction again, and bring her back at full chat. Okay. All right. Nice, smooth, quiet operation as you would expect. No drama. We have directional lighting, as is common. Sorry I'm rambling, guys. I'm just kind of shocked about our one unit here being DCC. So, excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch from my battery-powered Roku Han controller here on the switching layout I will switch over to a DCC system of some kind, probably my DCC++ EX setup, if not the MRC power cab, NCE power cab, not MRC. And when I switch that back over, we will try this other locomotive. So I'll bring you guys right back. Alright guys, we are back again. I have switched over to our DCC++ EX setup. Had a little bit of difficulty getting that going. The power supply for the motor shield was having an issue, and I think the issue was actually this cable. I swapped it with one from another one exactly like it, and it works just fine, which is strange. I've not had that type of a problem with just a cable before, especially one that I've used half a dozen times and that's it. So we're on the phone here. We got SRCP Client, not sponsored. I think it's free anyway for the version I've got. Anyway, got our track power on, got our generic DCC address 3 programmed in. So we can get you guys set up. Alright, we're going to try F0 for headlights. Looky there. Turn them back off. Turn them back on. Let's see if she moves. There we go. Oh, what do we got going on here? Let's go backwards. And then let's stop her. A little momentum built into that. Now, why did it hang up right here? Nothing is sticking up that I can tell. Let's switch our back to the other way. Let's weird. It's stopping. Right when it gets to section of track, and it's a hard stop. It's not like the electricity's going off. It's like it's grabbing. I mean, there is the tiniest of lips, but it's in there. It's not. And there's, I can grab my fingernail. Let's see if we can. It's moving enough to go through the full range of motion, so I know we're not dealing with a drivetrain issue here. I wonder if it just doesn't like, well, it's not even getting to the turnout. What is grabbing? Could the, what do you call it, the knuckle coupler, the trip pin on the knuckle coupler? We stopping it? Let's slow her right down. We get a flashlight. Let's try to catch it in the act. Not the trip pin. I think it might be the plow. let's excuse me. Let's continue on. Let her travel. Let's ratchet up the speed a little bit. It's got cool amount of momentum built into the decoder here when we stop. Let's back in frame here, dial up a little bit. We're going to hit stop. See how she slows to a stop? That is very cool. Let's just make sure it's not a sound decoder. F8, no. Yep, she's stopping on the plow. So that'll take a little bit of adjusting. But the good news is we figured out why she wouldn't run on DC power very well. Because it is DCC decoder equipped. Which that will possibly come in useful. I wasn't going to give anything away, guys, but I've got, get over here, zoom back out. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or used one of these before. It is basically a wireless DCC throttle, and I'm not going to put all this stuff together. I've not even used it, but it looks like a control stand. I don't have the knobs plugged in here, but you've got your notch 1 through 8, got your horn, your bell, your reverser down here, air brake, front and back ditch lights, and a bunch of configurable stuff. I saw one of these and I had to have it. So I went to Iowa Scaled Engineering's website and bought one. I've had this thing for about a year and I've been too busy to mess with it. It works with the big players out there. I think the Digitrax wireless setup. I think it worked with the MRC setup as well. Out of the box, it does not work with DCC++EX, but thankfully there's a little module that you can buy as an add-on, and I'll be able to set it up and make them talk together and work right. So look for that video eventually. When, I don't know, work is busy again and Chris was down for a week. He had the unspecified pandemic virus, so I've been working remote and isolating, things like that. He still tested positive as of a couple of days ago, so I'm gonna probably work from home this next coming week just for my co-workers' safety's sake. So he's fine though. He's not in any real health risk. He was vaccinated and boosted and all that, so he's doing fine. No loss of smell or anything. So wish him well, guys. He's still not 100% recovered yet, but he's pretty close. So he would certainly like the well wishes from you. So will these Norfolk Southern units run? Yes, they will. They just require different control systems, which I'm tickled to death at that, guys. I was not expecting to have a DCC unit, so for the price I paid for these, that's just extra gravy. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on a double header Will It run on Trains with Shane, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, stay safe.